Onions are among the oldest and most widely used culinary crops in the world. From vast fields across Asia and Europe to farming regions in the Americas and Africa, onions appear in nearly every global cuisine. Regardless of the country, achieving high yields in onion cultivation always begins with one core factor: proper initial preparation. The planting journey starts with seed selection. Today, there are many onion varieties worldwide, such as green onions, bulb onions, and red onions, each adapted to specific climates and usage purposes. However, certain universal criteria always come first when choosing planting material. Selected onion bulbs must be healthy, free from pests and diseases, firm in structure, with dry outer skins, and no physical damage. High-quality seed stock ensures uniform growth, reduces risks during cultivation, and lays the foundation for a stable and successful harvest. After selecting the variety, soil preparation becomes the next decisive factor. Onions grow best in loose, nutrient-rich soil with good drainage. In many onion-growing regions around the world, the soil is thoroughly tilled to improve aeration while removing weeds and leftover crop residues from the previous season. Raised beds are also carefully prepared, typically 20 to 25 centimeters high, to prevent waterlogging, one of the main causes of slow growth or bulb rot in onions. Alongside soil preparation, base fertilization is an essential step. Well-decomposed manure or organic fertilizer is widely used to improve soil structure and provide essential nutrients during the early stages of growth. This fertilizer is evenly mixed into the topsoil of the beds, allowing onion roots to absorb nutrients easily right from the start. Once all conditions are ready, planting is carried out with care. Onion bulbs are placed in straight rows with proper spacing to ensure sufficient room for development. Typically, the distance between plants ranges from 10 to 15 centimeters, while rows are spaced about 20 centimeters apart. The bulbs are positioned upright, with the roots facing downward, then covered with a thin layer of soil. Planting too deeply can delay sprouting and negatively affect early growth. Finally, the beds are lightly watered. Proper moisture helps the bulbs establish roots quickly and activates the growth process. From these seemingly simple onion bulbs, green shoots soon emerge from the soil, marking the beginning of a new cultivation cycle. Around the world, it is this careful and methodical preparation that creates thriving onion fields, supplying an essential ingredient for millions of meals every day. Once the first onion shoots emerge from the soil, crop care enters a critical stage. At this point, the plants are still young. Their root systems are not yet fully developed, and they are highly sensitive to environmental conditions. Across onion-growing regions worldwide, farmers pay special attention to this phase, as proper care will determine the vigor and yield of the entire crop. Water is the most crucial factor in the days immediately after planting. Onion plants need to be watered regularly each day to maintain consistent soil moisture. The most suitable times for irrigation are usually early morning or late afternoon when temperatures are lower, helping reduce evaporation and prevent plant stress. The amount of water must be carefully controlled, as onions do not tolerate prolonged waterlogging. Overly wet soil can deprive young roots of oxygen, leading to root rot and stunted growth. Once the plants are well established and growing steadily, watering frequency can be gradually reduced, although adequate soil moisture must still be maintained. along with water, nutrients are essential for healthy onion growth. About 10 to 15 days after planting, when new leaves begin to appear, the first top dressing is applied. Diluted nitrogen fertilizer or liquid organic fertilizer is commonly used to promote leaf development, laying the groundwork for bulb formation later on. Subsequent fertilization is carried out at regular intervals, typically every 10 days. Fertilizer application must be carefully calculated to maintain a proper nutrient balance and avoid over-fertilization, which can lead to uneven growth or increased susceptibility to disease. In parallel with watering and fertilizing, weed control and soil loosening are also important tasks. If left unmanaged, weeds will directly compete with onion plants for nutrients, water, and sunlight. Therefore, weeding should be done regularly, especially during the early growth stage. When loosening the soil, farmers must work gently to keep it friable without damaging the onion's relatively shallow root system. Throughout the growing period, monitoring plant health is essential. Onion crops may face various issues such as leaf-eating pests, yellowing leaves, or root rot, particularly during prolonged wet conditions. Regular field inspections allow growers to detect early signs of problems. When necessary, appropriate and safe control measures are applied promptly to minimize losses and protect the plant's natural growth. From these seemingly simple care practices, each onion bed gradually matures, with green leaves growing taller and bulbs forming beneath the soil. Around the world, it is this patience, attention to detail, and adherence to proper techniques during the care stage that result in healthy onion fields, ready for a bountiful harvest. After many weeks of careful tending, the onion field enters its most important stage: harvest. This is not only the moment when the grower's efforts are rewarded, but also a decisive step that determines the commercial quality and storage potential of the onions. Across onion-growing regions worldwide, farmers rely on the growth characteristics of each onion type to identify the optimal harvest time. For green onions, the growing cycle is relatively short. Typically, after about 30 to 40 days, the plants reach a suitable size for harvesting. At this stage, the leaves are tall, fresh green in color, and the stalks are firm and juicy. Green onions are usually harvested by hand to avoid bruising or damage. Growers gently pull the entire plant from the soil, then shake off the soil from the roots. High-quality onions are neatly aligned and tied into compact bunches, making them easy to transport and sell. Careful handling during harvest helps preserve freshness, attractive color, and the onion's characteristic flavor. Bulb onions, on the other hand, have a longer growing period and require closer observation before harvest. The appropriate time usually falls between 60 and 75 days after planting, depending on the variety and growing conditions. The clearest sign of maturity is when the leaves begin to turn yellow, the stems soften, and fall over onto the ground. This indicates that the bulbs have fully developed underground and accumulated sufficient nutrients. During harvest, growers gently pull or dig up the bulbs, taking special care to avoid scratching or bruising the outer skins, as even minor damage can affect storage life. Once removed from the field, onions are not used or stored immediately. The next essential step is curing. Newly harvested bulbs are spread out under mild sunlight for about 2 to 3 days. Sun exposure helps dry the outer skins and seal the necks, reducing the risk of fungal and bacterial infections. This process must be carefully managed, as excessive heat can cause the bulbs to lose moisture too quickly, compromising internal quality. When the outer skins are fully dry, the onions are ready for storage or distribution. From vast commercial fields to small-scale farms, harvesting at the right time and using proper techniques are key factors in preserving flavor, durability, and economic value. It also marks the close of a cultivation cycle, where the grower's dedication is embodied in each firm, healthy onion, ready to meet the needs of people around the world. After the drying process is complete, onions move into the processing stage, where raw bulbs from the fields are transformed into a variety of products for consumption and long-term storage. In many countries around the world, processing not only increases the economic value of onions, but also extends the usable life of this familiar spice. The first step after drying is preliminary preparation. The dried roots are trimmed away, any remaining leaves are cut back neatly, and the onions are then sorted by size and quality. Standard grade onions are typically round and uniform, with dry skins and no signs of bruising or damage. Depending on their intended use, these onions are either sent directly to market or moved on to more advanced processing stages. One of the most common products is dried onions. To produce high-quality dried onions, the outer skins are removed and the bulbs are washed thoroughly to eliminate dirt and impurities. The onions are then sun-dried under suitable conditions or dehydrated using specialized equipment until fully dry. This process significantly reduces moisture content, limiting microbial growth and extending shelf life, while preserving the onion's characteristic flavor. Alongside dried onions, fried shallots are a widely favored culinary product. To make fried shallots, fresh onions are sliced into thin, even pieces. These slices are placed into hot oil and fried at a carefully controlled temperature. During frying, constant stirring is required to ensure even cooking and prevent burning. Once the slices turn a golden color, they are removed immediately and drained of excess oil. Properly prepared fried shallots should be crisp, visually appealing, and release a rich, fragrant aroma, enhancing the flavor of many dishes. In addition, onions are processed into dehydrated onion flakes and onion powder, convenient products well suited to modern lifestyles. For dehydrated onions, the bulbs are thinly sliced and dried in temperature-controlled dryers to preserve natural color and flavor. For onion powder, fully dried onions are finely ground into a smooth powder, making them easy to store and use in both household cooking and industrial food production. Modern drying and grinding equipment ensures consistent quality and product safety. From humble bulbs harvested in the field, processing creates a wide range of onion products to meet diverse consumer needs. This marks the final stage in the onion's journey, a point where labor, technique, and careful attention come together, delivering this familiar flavor to the tables of millions of households around the world. After completing the stages of cultivation, harvest, and processing, onions enter the final, yet equally important phase, export. This is the stage that takes onions beyond local production and transforms them into agricultural commodities traded on the international market. To reach this point, onions must undergo strict control procedures and meet rigorous standards for quality and food safety. Before export, onions are carefully inspected and sorted. Bulbs that fail to meet requirements in size or shape or show signs of damage are removed. Approved shipments must consist of firm onions with dry, clean skins, free from pests, diseases, and foreign matter. In addition, they must comply with stringent regulations on pesticide residues to ensure consumer safety in importing countries. Each inspection step is carried out with precision, minimizing risk and strengthening the product's reputation on the global market. Once they pass inspection, onions are packaged according to specific standards tailored to each target market. Packaging not only protects the product during transportation, but also provides essential information such as origin, variety, and storage duration. Proper packaging helps reduce bruising, extend freshness, and maintain bulb quality throughout the long journey. Storage and transportation play a critical role in onion exports. Most export-grade onions are kept in cool storage or shipped in refrigerated containers, where temperature and humidity are tightly controlled. Suitable storage conditions slow the respiration process of the bulbs, limit spoilage, and preserve freshness until the onions reach consumers. Thanks to increasingly advanced logistics systems, onions can now be transported safely to markets around the world. Major onion-consuming markets span multiple continents, particularly Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. Each market has its own requirements regarding quality, size, and presentation, requiring producers and exporters to remain flexible while strictly adhering to international standards. Exporting onions not only expands market reach, but also adds significant value to the crop. Through this process, the production chain is completed, generating stable income for onion growers and promoting sustainable agricultural development. From cultivated fields to seaports and distant markets, onions complete a long journey, carrying with them the labor, expertise, and hopes of those devoted to this familiar and essential spice. Looking at the entire journey, from planting and care to harvesting, processing, and finally export, it becomes clear that onions, though familiar, hold significant economic value. This is a model that does not require high initial investment, involves relatively simple techniques, offers quick capital turnover, and benefits from an increasingly open and growing market. If you are searching for a viable agricultural startup model or considering a shift toward more sustainable crop production, onion farming and development is certainly an option worth exploring. With the right techniques, patience, and a solid understanding of the market, onions can provide a stable and long-term source of income. We hope the insights shared in this video have given you more knowledge, more motivation, and greater confidence to begin or further develop your own agricultural journey. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to follow the channel to stay updated on more farming models, livestock practices, and real-world experience. In upcoming videos, we will continue to bring you even more engaging content, more effective models, and practical, relatable agricultural stories with real value. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.